The 106th Giro D'Italia starts on the 6th of May. It's the first Grand Tour of this 2023 season. Time for another 3 epic weeks, full of twists, turns, and typical Giro drama. Hello to all my friends at Eurosport Eurosport With great pleasure, I welcome you to Italy for the pink race, the Giro D'Italia.
Hey everyone, it's Hindley from Team Roland-Garros. I have really nice memories from the Giro last year, and you can watch the full recap on Eurosport and GCN+.
But before we dive into this year's Giro, let's have a look, as Jai said, at what happened last year. The favourites for the race. Tom Dumoulin was a winner in 27, Carapaz there, Yates the leader of the then Bike Exchange team, and Joao Almeida 4th in 2020. The other stars, Mathieu van der Poel racing his second Grand Tour. And the sprinters, Arnaud Démare, who loves the Giro, the veteran Mark Cavendish, Australian Caleb Ewan, and rising star Biniam Girmay. Valverde was there for a second Giro at 42, Nibali the last dance at 37. Last year the race started in Hungary, in Budapest. 3 days in a new nation for Grand Tour cycling, and plenty out on the roads to witness an historic occasion. There'll be a road stage to start things off. One difficulty in the final kilometre with a hard climb. One maybe for the punchers, or those sprinters maybe, who could climb. So a different start for the Giro, but the same relatively easy breakaway out for the early road stage. Hungarian flags became Italian flags. And the peloton got a good look at the countryside. But then the business. Caleb Ewan well placed in the last kilometre, but the strongest rider looked to be Mathieu van der Poel. Girmay was battling with him. Ewan crashed with 50 metres to go, and Mathieu van der Poel did it. First Giro stage, first win, the Maglia Rosa.
Really special. It's my second Grand Tour, and first I had the honor to wear the maillot jaune, and now it's a pink jersey, so it's yeah, it's special.
Van der Poel would be in a pink TT skin suit for the following day. Starting last, Tom Dumoulin would be the big favourite. 9.2 kilometres without too much difficulty. An uphill finish though. 11 minutes 58, Tom Dumoulin's time. The surprise came from Simon Yates. 5 seconds quicker than Dumoulin, and top placing for him. Could Van der Poel defend his pink jersey though? The Dutchman was incredible. He finished second in a time trial, just 3 seconds behind Simon Yates. Yates taking his first ever Grand Tour time trial victory. A delight for him.
Cavendish in front. On the right as we look at it, Gavinia. On the right, Gavinia, but Cavendish is still in front. Cavendish is going. Bauhaus is coming to the left. The line won't get there. Cavendish still there. Cavendish still there. Oh, it's number 16.
Mark Cavendish's 16th Giro D'Italia victory. The first for a British rider on the Giro. Back in 2008 for him.
You're not particularly young anymore. this is, I think you are a living example of professionality and class.
Thank you very much. Just love riding my bike, that's it. I think people forget I was sick. I'm just happy to be back and able to be successful again.
After a transfer on the aeroplane, the Giro returned to home ground in Italy and to the slopes of the volcano Etna in Sicily. Paul be dropped. Juanpe Lopez went alone. Another favourite not going well, Dumoulin. Ineos looking strong though. Before Leonard Kemner got something back on Juanpe Lopez. Lopez knowing at this point that he was going to be in the pink jersey. A chat between the two riders. Lopez leaving the stage, win to Kemner. The Spaniard taking the Maglia Rosa.
Creo que todavía no me lo creo.
I don't believe it. I'm really emotional still. When I arrived, they told me I had the pink jersey and I'm wearing it now. I still can't believe it and I need to enjoy it. These were the first meaningful overall standings after the mountain stage, with Lopez in the Maglia Rosa, Yates best of the GC contenders.
Alberto Danese qui lance son sprint, Arnaud démarre également, Davide Ballerini dans la boîte, le retour de Fernando Gaviria, c'est tout droit maintenant pour Arnaud démarre. Allez Arnaud, oui, victoire d'étape d'Arnaud démarre.
Super content, pense à mon neveu.
I'm really happy. I think about my nephew and my niece who are 5 years old today, twins of the family. A sixth stage victory for Arnaud Démare. The other bit of big news on the day was that Vincenzo Nibali announced his retirement at the age of 37. He decided to wait until his home city of Messina to put the news out. This would be his last Giro.
Well,
at the end of the season, I'll end my professional career as a road rider, and then we'll see. At this moment, I have mixed feelings. I don't want to be too emotional, but it's pretty intense, this. A second stage in a row for the sprinters would be next up. Stage 6. Mark Cavendish looked powerful. Caleb Ewan was doing better and got in front of the Brit. But Arnaud Démare, not expected to win, did just that. A second in a row and on a roll.
Démare? I think he got it, eh?
Yes!
Lotto Soudal couldn't believe it. Démare could. To the mainland in stage 7. Diamante to Potenza, 4 climbs, 196 kilometers. Ideal for a big breakaway. Tom Dumoulin was up there. He made the race harder with 30 k's to go. 4 riders up there going towards the finish. And Dumoulin's teammate Koen Bouwman taking the short sprint. Jumbo-visma winning the stage. Touch to light, and Juanpe Lopez retain the Maglia Rosa. Up the coast and to Naples. A really interesting stage with plenty going on around the route. And Thomas Agent won in Napoli. A real stage up in the mountains. A throwback. Blockhouse was next on stage 9. Juanpe Lopez trying to keep that pink jersey. Richard Carapaz attacking with 4.6 Ks to go. Balde could follow him. Landa went too. But a group of 3 riders managed to hang on. Almeida, Hindley and Pozzo Vivo. A 6-man sprint at the top of Blockhouse. And Jai Hindley, the Australian from Bora, did the job.
It's pretty unbelievable. Yeah, to win on Blockhouse is just incredible, you know. Yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
I
think the feeling's pretty good at the moment. We've just finished the first week of the Giro, and that's important. We're still in a good position. There's a lot of time to reach the goal and win the race. The big loser of the day, though, was Simon Yates. A knee injury, 34th on the stage. 11 minutes, 15 seconds lost.
I've lost the race. It it's causing me a lot of problems.
The hero of the day was Juanpe Lopez, by just 12 seconds hanging on to the Maglia Rosa. What a Giro it's turning out to be for the young Andalusian. But the rest of the big boys approaching him behind as they head into week 2. After a well-deserved rest day, it'll be stage 10. Thankfully, there was good humour on show. A day for punchers like Biniam Girmay. And a history-making day. Vedi, Vini, Bini. And Girmay becoming the first black African to win a Grand Tour stage. The whole peloton delighted for a world superstar. But unfortunately, there was an incident on the podium. A Prosecco cork to the eye. And Girmay had to go to the hospital. It'd soon transcend that he suffered a pretty nasty injury. And the Eritrean star would have to abandon the Giro D'Italia. An historic day. Contrast. Stage 11, 203 kilometers between Sant'Arcangelo di Romagna and Reggio Emilia. The flatter stage of the Giro, but who would win? A shootout between the sprinters. And it'd be a surprise in the end. Victory for an Italian sprinter who'd never won at this level. A former under-23 European champion. That man, Alberto Dainese of DSM. Another 200-plus kilometer day coming up. Parma to Genova with 3 GPMs on the programme. An opportunity for a break to go all the way, maybe. On the climb of La Coletta, with the Italian Lorenzo Rota from the Intermarché team, who would be the first to cross the pass. On the descent, he'd then be joined by another Italian, Van der Poel's teammate Stefano Oldani. Rota, Oldani and Dutch young rider Hees Lemreze was there. Peloton with 20 Ks to go, more than 8 minutes down. They get to the streets of the Lantern City, and then the sprint launched.
Stefano Oldani, Lemreze ha mollato Rota, testa a testa italiano con Rota che prova all'ultimo. Oldani illumina la lanterna di Genova.
First ever Giro victory for Stefano Oldani, the second Italian victory in a row. Sanremo de Cuneo would be the 13th stage. Only one difficulty really with the Colle di Nava. Sprinters teams wanted to control the race. And then 5 riders trying to take their luck, including Prodom, Tagliani, Vonenberg, Maestri and Eenhoorn. Groupama kept an eye on the breakaway.
Romain Bardet a abandonné le Tour d'Italie. Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? Il est dans la voiture, Romain. Alors là, ça vient de nous tomber sur la tête, ça.
A hard blow for DSM as Bardet, going well, forced to abandon the Giro. With 78 kilometers to go, the peloton decided to ride hard because there's a big advantage to the leading group. The group of 5 in front wanted to believe. The peloton, though, splitting up, the wind's blowing and chaos on the road. Konovalovas of Groupama gave everything for his leader Demar to bring things back. The peloton having the doubts, those up front still fighting, and with 700 metres to go, they were brought back. Demar working together, the Maglia Ciclamino out in front, and it will be victory number 3 of that Giro d'Italia for Arnaud Demar. With Demar on a roll, it would be climbing time again to Torino. Bad news once more for a second day running, a big name abandoning. Tom Dumoulin would be off the bike. Bora Hansgrohe tried to blow the race apart. Joao Almeida was in trouble. Only the bigger leaders were left at the front. The pink jersey was holding on. Then Carapaz himself accelerated. One attack, 2 attack, and 3 attacks. This time the pink jersey couldn't follow. Vincenzo Nibali trying to put on one last big show, would go in search of the Ecuadorian Giro winner. Guy Hindley was coming back metre by metre. And then Simon Yates appeared. The Englishman had lost the Giro already, but was looking for another stage win. A huge victory for Simon Yates on the streets of Turin. Just ahead of the brand new pink jersey, Carapaz. And Ecuador was dreaming of a second Giro win. Stage 15, 178 kilometers, 3 mountain passes to climb. A difficult stage for the one before the second rest day. Not too scary for Ciccone.
Vamos, Giulio, bentornato, bentornato.
Li hanno lanciati, ma li lancia anche lui! Gli occhiali, gli hanno lanciato gli occhiali dal pubblico.
Peloton came in 7:45 down. Richard Carapaz will spend the rest day in pink. That before the hardest stage on paper of this Giro. 4 climbs, 202 kilometers to Aprica. Valverde was in the breakaway. 22 riders were there. Ineos were taking care of his leader. And things were going to happen from the breakaway. Jan Hirt, counter-attacking, passing Ardensman. The Czech, who had tried and tried, wanted his Giro stage win. Even a little hiccup on the descent wasn't going to get in the way. Among the favourites, Joao Almeida was in trouble. And despite the rain, Hirt did it. Victorious in Aprica. A complicated day would follow. The rain falling. And another big man, 23-man group away. A Crash for Santiago Buitrago on the descent early on. He'd been in the breakaway group. But the Colombian rider get back on his bike. He later get back in the bunch. Breakaway bunch, that was. And amazingly, inside the last 8 kilometers, getting to his limits, hitting the front and taking the win. A painful but beautiful victory for the rider from Bahrain, victorious. Santiago Buitrago, Euro stage winner. Well, this victory that I've just taken comes at the right time. And thanks to God, I'll be able to sleep more peacefully tonight. Richard Carapaz and Jai Hindley arrived almost 3 minutes behind the Colombian. 2 seconds of an advantage for them on Mikel Landa. Carapaz versus Hindley was becoming the battle of this Giro d'Italia. 3 seconds between them, as Almeida lost more than a minute. Bad news from the UAE team hotel at the start of stage 18. Almeida 4th, positive for COVID and out of the race. The last chance for the sprinters, this one. 4 riders managed to get the breakaway. Caught Gaburro, Affini and De Bont were up there. Game of cat and mouse between peloton and breakaway. With the strength of the breakaway and the diminishing strength of those behind, the battle will be a much more interesting one. 25 seconds inside the final kilometre. The peloton couldn't catch them and chance to sprint it out for a win between the break. Thought might have been the favourite on paper, but it'd be former Belgian champ Dries De Bont who realised a dream and became a Grand Tour stage winner. Three stages to go, and another big fight expected between the top 3 in the GC. Carapaz, Hindley, Landa. 178 kilometres, a big mountain stage with 4 climbs, but no big battle at the end. Andrea Vendrame taking a wrong turn. And Koen Bouwman winning a stage for the 2nd time in the race. First Dutchman to be a Giro King of the Mountains. Three seconds between the 2 riders at the top of the GC. Carapaz in pink, Hindley hoping to take it from him. A mountain stage with the final climb, the Marmolada. Alessandro Corvi would be the man to take the business in terms of the stage. And then this happened. Final climb, Hindley attacked, Bora set it up, Carapaz hanging on. But the more Hindley pressured, the more help he got. Leonard Kemna putting in a huge turn, and then the first cracks appeared. Carapaz marked well, beautifully by Kemna. Hindley was riding away on the Passo Fejaya, they should rename it, with a Giro victory. The Australian across the line. All-out effort. Everybody waiting for Carapaz. 1 minute 28 the gap. Jai Hindley, the new Maglia Rosa.
Yeah, it's a really incredible feeling, you know. Yeah, I didn't know if I was ever going to be back in the pink jersey again after 2 years, but to be here, you know, on the second last day at the end wearing the jersey, it's really an incredible feeling, and yeah, it's a privilege and an honour to be back in this jersey.
18 months on after losing it on the final day. A better margin this time going into the last time trial. The last stage of the 2022 Giro d'Italia. A time trial around the streets of Verona. And thanks to a fantastic show in the mountains, Jai Hindley was just about ready to win the Giro. 17.4 kilometres against the clock separated him, and the pink jersey was good. Matteo Sobrero would be the man out there, taking the stage win. Richard Carapaz back in Verona, where he won the race a couple of years previous, but not taking enough time back at all on Hindley at this point. Jai Hindley just had to stay safe. And coming into the final kilometre, knew that he was going to make history and become the first ever Australian to win the Giro d'Italia. Time to start the party. Bora also winning their first Grand Tour.
Is it heavy, Jay?
Yeah, it's really heavy, and I'm super tired, and my arms are struggling. But wow, what a beautiful trophy, and yeah, it's a real honour to have my name on this trophy, and I'm blown away, really.
Jai Hindley then, coming back from being beaten on the final day in 2020 to win the Giro ahead of Carapaz and Landa, who were already on the podium with him.
For
me, it's a confirmation of Jai Hindley's victory. He had already shown in the past that he was able to last 3 weeks. He was a good climber. He'd already finished second in the Giro, and he came with a lot of ambition with a really solid Bora-Hansgrohe team. I think it's true that Giro is certainly the race that corresponds to him the best, because we know that the third week's important, and he climbed fantastically. What about this year? The route looks like this. The Giro starting from Abruzzo on the Costa dei Trabocchi with a time trial to Ortona. Second stage, probably one for the sprinters. And after San Salvo, they go to Melfi. 200 kilometres, 2 climbs to take in. A few hidden dangers there. And then Lago Laceno, plenty of climbing. A 3-star stage, an opportunity for surprises and a change of the lead. Stage 5 sees them head into the mountains before going back to the coast of Salerno. And Campania continues with another day around Napoli, this time along the Amalfi coast. The first real mountain stage takes them to Gran Sasso. After Roccaraso, it's the usual approach to a big mountain. Last time was won by Simon Yates. Fossombrone, another stage with a few hidden treasures, let's say, towards the end. We've seen this one before on Tirreno Adriatico. And then to end the first block of racing, a time trial, pan flat, but long. 33.6 kilometres and 1 for the specialists. Northwest, the upper end of the Apennines, passes through Tuscany and to Viareggio, before going north to Fausto Coppi land to Tortona. A short but difficult stage from Bra to Rivoli. At stage 12, before the peloton heads over the border, taking on Cima Coppi and Gran Sas San Bernardo. And from Switzerland, they come straight back into Italy. Quite a curl, one that could be one for the sprinters. That's after the stage to Crans-Montana. So back through Passo Sempione and a finish at Cassano Magnago. Then a tough stage, a mini Giro di Lombardia. Some famous climbs, the likes of Selvino and Valpiana, before finishing in Bergamo itself. And one we haven't been to for a while, the mid-noughties. Monte Bondone is back. And the final week is hellish. Only this little respite should be a stage for the sprinters to Caorle. Val di Zoldo presents many an opportunity to attack. 19% gradients on Coit. And the Tappone Dolomitico, the Dolomitic monster stage. Campolongo, Valparolo, Ciao, and then Tre Cime di Lavaredo. Nibali, the snow, yes, the memories come flooding back. And a brand new stage for the penultimate day. A mountain time trial, the likes of which I'm not sure we've ever seen. Monte Lussari, 22%. A flight and procession stage to Rome ends things. Sixth Giro d'Italia.
Ce Giro, il y a 70 km de
On this Giro, there are 70 kilometers of time trialing. We know it's really important. The riders who've worked on their equipment and their position will certainly take an advantage and try and use the strength on those days. And the others will be forced to attack. So it'll force some riders who have the gaps in the time trial to attack on other stages. It can make the racing really interesting.
Certains coureurs qui ont des lacunes en contre-la-montre de passer à l'attaque sur d'autres étapes. Donc ça peut rendre la course intéressante.
The Giro is the most mountainous race without doubt. The race with the steepest gradients, almost impossible at times. Consecutive climbs and many kilometers in altitude. I think what will really make the difference on the Giro d'Italia is the mountain. What about the favourites? The duel that everyone's waiting for, though, is Remco Evenepoel, world champion and welter winner, against multiple welter winner, Primož Roglic. It's a complicated question because we're talking about two riders who possess tremendous quality. Two riders who are in great shape and have prepared very well. Both have prepared fantastically. Roglic has the season despite beginning to compete a bit later. And the same for Remco. We've seen him put on shows like in Liège. I think that after Remco Evenepoel's victory in the last Vuelta, the Giro is an important step, because he could win a second Grand Tour and a different one as well, before then attacking the Tour de France. He could eventually add all three Grand Tours to his palmarès. I proved last year in San Sebastian that he's very strong, and this year again in Liège-Bastogne-Liège, he calmly controlled the whole race. He showed that he's ready for the next Giro d'Italia.
Essere pronto per il prossimo Giro d'Italia.
And the other important factor for Remco Evenepoel's not to have bad days. On a bad day at the Vuelta, you can lose 40 seconds or a minute. A bad day on the Giro means you can lose 5 minutes. I mean, maybe there's a weakness that Remco Evenepoel, due to not having ridden too many Grand Tours, still doesn't know his body or how it works as well as riders who've done more Grand Tours.
También como en un momento dado se lo pueden conocer otros corredores que sí que han hecho más grandes vueltas.
Evenepoel sincerely last year at the Vuelta I saw him up close and I saw that he was very strong. He had so much strength and explosiveness. He was winning, especially on the first stages, and he took so much difference from his rivals.
Dai suoi avversari, tanto gap. E poi lui tanto controllato. Beh, il Giro, le strade italiane,
the Italian roads are very particular.
Sono molto particolari.
There's a lot of bends, curves. You have to be concentrated. And the Giro d'Italia always has traps. We'll wait to see the two riders together again at the Giro to relive that moment of tension at this year's Volta a Catalunya. I raced with Roglic several times. I saw this approach to races, and remember he was very strong in the first 2 weeks. But in the last week, he tended to suffer a bit.
Però l'ultima settimana tendenzialmente andava un po' soffrendo e calando.
So giving my prediction looks really complicated. To be honest, I daren't give a prediction. I can't put either one of them ahead of the other.
Se dovesse vincere Remco...
I'd like the idea of a Remco win because it's the world champion then winning the Giro d'Italia.
Il campione del mondo che vince un Giro d'Italia.
It's known overall that I will go to the Giro, so for sure there I will try to do my best, try to win a stage or more than one stage and try to do a good GC.
Did you learn anything from yourself in La Vuelta a España?
Yeah, that actually I'm a pretty good Grand Tour rider. No, of course, I think I learned there that I can be really relaxed and focused at the same time. I think I really learned how you have to go through that month to perform at the highest level every day.
Now in December, it was a true surprise that Primož Roglič was announced to ride the Giro instead of the Tour de France. But that is also a proof that Team Jumbo-Visma wants to win the Giro as well this year. And Roglič is really committed. He rode 15 days this year, won 7 races, including the Tirreno, of course, and the Vuelta a Catalunya, which was very interesting, obviously, riding against Remco Evenepoel. And this is another factor, because Primož Roglič has unfinished business in this Giro after crashing out La Vuelta last year. He wants to beat Remco Evenepoel 1-1 in the Giro d'Italia, and he wants to win another Grand Tour besides winning 3 times La Vuelta. It is going to be spectacular in this very special Giro d'Italia. Roglič against Evenepoel. My bet, Roglič is here for the win.
Start list this year's impressive. Theo Gegenhardt, a former winner, is back. He's had a remarkable start to the season, winning the Tour of the Alps and able to count on Geraint Thomas, became a model teammate. Ineos will be at the start of the Giro with that former winner and also with a former Tour de France winner as well.
It's a strong team and we can, obviously the GC is the main goal. I mean, always have one eye on that, but then I think, you know, with stages as well, there's a lot to go for, especially with races like the Giro. They seem a bit more uncontrolled maybe, opposed to the Tour, where, you know, breakaways have more of a chance. So yeah, I think we can go there really optimistic and excited about the opportunities that will come.
Geraint Thomas
is a rider of tremendous quality. We all know this, having seen the great results that he's pulled off, especially that victory at the Tour de France. But going on today, especially if you see his recent results, for example, in the Tour of the Alps, I think it's difficult that Thomas will be battling for the Giro with Roglic and Evenepoel. 2 riders who are peaking right now. They seem to be flying, winning most races they take part in. It's tough to me to see Geraint Thomas at that same level. But never underestimate João Almeida. He might not be one of the favourites, but the Portuguese rider's always well placed in a Grand Tour. He knows the Giro well. 4th in 2020 and a pink jersey wearer from stages 4 to 18. 2nd in Tirreno behind Roglic, 3rd in Catalonia behind Roglic and Remco Evenepoel. He can be the 3rd man of the Giro. Before Thibaut Pinot will ride his last Giro. No pressure for him in GC. He's here to enjoy himself.
El pasado Giro D'Italia, una de las
In the last Giro D'Italia, one of the revelations was Juan P. Lopez, the rider from Trek Segafredo, who stayed 10 days in the pink jersey.
El líder de la clasificación general. Este año
This year, the one who's attracting attention is a young Irishman. 22 years of age, he's been surprising during the Classics campaign. Ben Healy. I think he can play a great role and surprise us in this next edition of the Giro. A great story for this Giro 2023, Fabiana Luperini. What a palmarès as a rider. Now a sports director. Last year, we spoke just before the Tour de France, and you said, I'd love to get back into cycling as a sports director. You'd already had some experience in women's cycling, but now you've joined Team Corratec. Yes, when we spoke, I said that. Of course, I was thinking about the women's sector. Then, somehow by chance, this call came up and I thought about it for a moment and I accepted the job. But I hadn't thought about the fact that I was the first Italian woman in a professional men's team. So the publicity that followed was a surprise, both for me and for the management. Of course, a positive surprise, but we're all happy.
Anche la pubblicità che poi dopo è venuta è stata una sorpresa sia per me che per la dirigenza, naturalmente una sorpresa positiva e niente, quindi siamo tutti contenti. Il tuo sogno nel cassetto?
And what's your dream for this Giro d'Italia?
Sicuramente sarebbe
of course, a stage win for one of our guys. Anyway, already our dream was to participate in the Giro d'Italia.
Partecipare al Giro d'Italia e insomma
I mean, we already fulfilled that. So a victory would be the thing that we want now.
Una vittoria sarebbe il massimo, però comunque sia anche ben figurare durante tutto l'arco del Giro, andando magari in fuga nelle tappe.
Maybe in breakaways and things like that as well.
Lasciano un po'.
It's just nice to be here.
Un po' più via libera agli altri corridori e quindi insomma far vedere la scritta Corratec il più possibile.
Li sgridi mai i tuoi ragazzi?
Of course,
no,
it's going to be a tough tour. I mean, you ever shout your guys? No, not also when I was racing. I didn't like sports directors who were too strict. So I also behave accordingly, and then they're good, they're attentive guys, so I think there's no need.
Bene, Fabiana, noi ti verremo
well, Fabiana, we'll see you in the Giro. In the meantime, good luck.
Corratec, intanto, in bocca al lupo.
Grazie.
6 riders at the start of this Giro can join the Stage Winners Club in every Grand Tour. Kuss, Clark, Court, Bargiel, Mollema and Pedersen. They all have wins in the Vuelta and the Tour. The Giro, though, evaded them all so far.
Den Giro 2023 wird
the Giro 2023 for me is going to be Remco Evenepoel from Soudal Quickstep. Why? There are only 2 contenders. Remco and Primož Roglic. Remco's 10 years younger. For everything he's got going for him. The Liège-Bastogne-Liège winner will in this Giro, I think, win in convincing style. By the way, the middle week of this Giro, I'll be in Italy on the motorbike, providing live news for you from the race.
Werde ich live auf die Motorrad vor Ort in Italien sein und euch mit Neuigkeiten versorgen.
Hola a todos, ¿estáis listos?
Everybody, you ready? I hope so, because the Giro's on the way, and it's on Eurosport and GCN+.
No nos lo podemos perder.
My suitcase is packed. The Giro 2023 is almost upon us. I can't wait to get there and bring you closer to the race action with me.
Follow me from May 6th racing the Giro d'Italia on Eurosport and GCN+.
You heard him. Amor Infinito, Giro d'Italia. It's coming. Don't miss it. We'll see you there. Ciao.